What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today, I want to talk about how we as black people treat each other in this space, in this social media space. How we treat each other, how we conduct each other in the social media space. Also, how we conduct, ourselves when it comes to each other, even in real life. And how I think that we as African people need to come to a realistic conclusion that we are communal at nature by heart. And because we're communal by nature at heart, we actually treat each other like we're family, whether we like each other or not. And we take liberties with each other because we're so familiar with each other and comfortable with each other, whether we're the same ethnic group or nationality or not. It's just something that naturally happens with black people. And a lot of the times people get it mixed up. They say, oh, black people are the only people that do this. Black people are the only people that do this. And they say, why is it black people always tearing black people down and other races don't do these things and stuff like that, right? Well, in actuality, other races do have issues with each other. That is true. But other races, like Europeans, they have an individualistic mentality. So they don't really operate like a community. That's why a white person named Bob can go do something and you don't have a bunch of white folks saying, oh man, that's white people. Why don't we crime? Why this? Why is white people such and such? That's why you don't get that. That's why when a Chinese person do something, you don't get a bunch of Chinese people saying, oh, all us Chinese people do that. It's because they don't hold each other accountable as a community the way we hold each other accountable as a community. We can't help but to be communal with each other. We just don't recognize that's what we're doing. Just like when you're in the house with your brothers and sisters. Let's say you got a bunch of brothers and sisters. You guys fight all the time. Big brother bullying little brother, right? Little brother whining and crying and setting up big brother. Sister being conniving and evil to little brother. Sister being evil and conniving and mean and nitpicky with big brother, right? Sisters not getting along, fighting over the comb, fighting over the bathroom, fighting over everything, right? In the house, they don't get along at all. Mama and daddy always got to separate them. Brothers fighting all the time. But guess what? And that's how we are as black people worldwide. That's how we treat each other, right? But the thing is, the part we need to learn is what happens when we step outside the house. You see, no matter how much you fight your brother and your sister inside the house, when you step outside the house, it's solid. It's solidarity. You dare let somebody else come and say something about your brother and sister. You dare let somebody come touch or hurt or harm your brother and sister, right? And as a matter of fact, when you step outside, you don't even speak the issues that you have in the house, that you have with your brothers and sisters, no matter how you feel about your brothers and sisters. You don't speak about that outside because you don't want outside influence, people who mean to do you harm. But you don't want them to exploit the issues that you have with your brothers and sisters to separate you, split you, and harm either one of you. And as a community, we're having an issue with that because we're so vocal. We talk, we loud, we actually don't give a shit, right? We actually don't care that other people are listening. We're so socially overwhelmingly dominant, that's not something we worry about. You see, Spanish people, Asian people, they have this personality where they keep quiet. They don't speak, don't say anything because it's culturally it's not what they do. Be quiet, hold it in, suppress it, right? That's why they don't fight as hard. That's why everybody always asks us to fight for them because we naturally will say what's on our mind, every type of African. And the thing is, as African people who are used to just saying what's on our mind, we individualistic, especially African Americans, we're not used to having another group of people that also say what's on their mind, right? We're not used to it. And now that African Americans are running to Africans, continental Africans, especially West Africans, because West Africans, where we derive from, our origin, our people, our brothers, our sisters, they got the same type of personality as us. They're going to say what's on their mind and that's it. And they're going to be loud about it, right? But what we need to do as black people, when it comes to African Americans talking to other African Americans who have different political, social, economic views, right? We need to watch out about what we say to each other in front of the world. We got to remember this shit need to be in the house. I know it's social media, right? But the thing is, we got to keep some of this shit in the house. I know we can criticize each other. There's nothing wrong with that. We can hold each other accountable because we're going to do that anyway because we're communal. That's what African people do. That's what everybody else loves about us. They love the fact that we just stick ourselves together like glue, right? That's why every black person knows about the family discount, right? And we always complain about everybody always want the discount. You know why? Because you see them as your brother and sister. You want them to give you the family discount. You know damn well they're your family. And you like, man, F that. You gonna give me the family discount because we family. Whether it be an African trying to go somewhere in the Caribbean, or a Caribbean trying to go somewhere and where African Americans live in America, or a Caribbean or African going to Africa or any other place, we see black folk, we trying to get the discount, right? That's the family discount, right? Because it's just natural, it's inherent in us. But that's also a problem because look, hey, we don't get the family discount from nobody else. We pay full price. We pay overpriced and ain't got no problem with it. So we need to start playing full price. That's actually why I make it a point. So whenever I'm doing business with anybody, I don't want the family discount. I want to pay full price because I want to respect your business, your services, your product that you have. All right, that's just the case. But the thing is, us black people, us African people need to be more careful about the way we criticize our fellow black people. Just because we don't agree with them doesn't mean we have to be venomous to them. We don't have to be evil and nasty and disgusting to them. We don't have to give them all of our smoke to them in a way that white people get to watch like spectators. That our enemies that want to do us harm want to watch like spectators. You see, when two black people start fighting, guess who gathers around? Guess who gathers around? They do. Why? Because they enjoy it. They love it when they see us fight. They love it when they see us go toe to toe. They love it, right? That's what they want to see. They'll egg it on. And if they know about your family business because y'all been spewing all the hate and venom to each other just because you two brothers don't get along, just because you two sisters don't get along on this point or that point, they're going to use that, divide you, and they're going to instigate you two destroying each other. Because the only thing that can destroy an African is an African. And I think by now we should know that. And we need to start conducting ourselves better. We need to start having some discipline about how we speak. And we need to be brave enough to open up and start showing some love to our fellow brothers and sisters, especially us men. All right, us men have a hard time opening up, being positive, and showing love to other men because we're masculine. We're the height and definition of masculinity on this planet, and we automatically want to battle. Even if it's somebody we still look at them like, I mean, anytime you want it, you can get it, right? We can get down right now. But we need to break that down because the thing is, we give everybody else the benefit of the doubt. And you know why we give everybody the benefit of the doubt? We ain't really scared of none of them. We don't see anybody else as competition in our lives socially or anything. The only competition that we actually have is the competition to fight economic and social systemic racism within the communities that we live in. Because you take that away, there's no one competing with us. Think about it. Everything we do, when all being equal, we excel, period. Right? So naturally, we don't see any, as the law of nature, no black man really truly sees any other men as a threat. No black female see any other woman as a real threat for real. The only well, women still, you know, they're a whole different creature. You know, they still women, so they got their ways, right? But as far as men, right, we don't see nobody as no threat, right? So we don't even take it in consideration, right? We only see each other as a threat. That's why we fight each other. That's why we gotta pick up guns and shoot each other because we're afraid of each other, right? We only measure up to each other, right? But guess what would happen if we showed more love to each other and we didn't make spectacle fights for our enemies to watch and be entertained? So we didn't give those enemies that want to do us harm and separate us and split us up into smaller groups that are insignificant. Guess what would happen if they didn't have anything to separate us? If they didn't know or understand the things that we disagreed on, right? Imagine if they saw unity for real. You know what? If there's a person you don't like, if there's a YouTuber or a TikToker or something you don't like and they really saying something super egregious, of course, yeah, you can go ahead and, you know, do your thing, you know, make your videos, blah, 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 blah. But watch how you speak. Remember that there's somebody watching you that don't have your best interest at heart. And at the end of the day, if you black and you love your black people, right, and you love your black family, right, you need to start practicing those things that you also preach. Right? Even if you have to even if you have to challenge one of your brethren, right? Just remember how you speaking out your mouth. Just remember who's listening to you. Because I guarantee you can cuss your sister out. But let some white person come cuss your sister out. What you gonna do? That's the same attitude you're gonna have. You can fight your brother every single day over dumb stuff. But let some outsider come and attack your brother. What you gonna do? You gonna get vicious, right? You're gonna protect your family. That's the type of attitude we gotta have. We just gotta understand the context of how we communicate with each other as black people. We gotta take all of that in consideration. Stop for a minute, think about it, right? Right? And just keep some shit silent. Keep some shit silent and be brave enough to open yourself up to other black men, especially black men, to open yourself up to other black men to support them without always wanting something in return, right? Because sometimes you just need some help. And you help without conditions. We gave white people help and we didn't get no conditions. We built the greatest country, the most powerful country on the planet off the backs of our blood, sweat, and tears for 400 years straight, along with the various other countries on the Western Hemisphere for free. We ain't getting nothing really out of it, right? So let's work for ourselves. Let's put that same energy and the love and the passion that we have for our various different journeys and missions in life when it comes to reconnecting with each other socially, economically, or fixing our problems that we have in the various countries we have. We have to be better than them. We have to be better than them. Show them that we can be professional with each other. Save all that juice, save all that smoke for them. Let them know ain't the only pack we smoking is they pack, not ours. You understand what I mean? You don't understand what I'm saying? Because we got enough issues, enough enemies. We don't need to have frenemies and brother enemies and creating enemies where there's not even necessary to have enemies, right? Let's just come to an understanding that we are family, we are black. We're always gonna, when we see a black person doing something, we always gonna say whether we are proud of them or we are disappointed in them as a community, because that's just what we are. Understand that's what we are. That's what makes us different from everybody else. That's what makes us more resilient than everybody else. That's what makes us stronger than everybody else. And that's why everybody else and all the ideological, political, and social movements want to use us to push their agenda, because they're not strong enough. They're not strong like us. And we need to start using our power for ourselves and start giving it away to everybody else. You understand? So all I'm saying, guys, show a little bit more brotherly love. Take your ego, put that shit to the side, right? And just be more professional and be more aware of your surroundings, about the people who's paying attention to you while you are criticizing your brother and sister. That's all I got to say. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.